this morning when I woke up, there were 6,000 bays in our dealerships with no technicians.
So can't get my car fixed?
Nope. 2 weeks. Average wait is 2 weeks. Not because we don't have the parts, we don't have the mechanics.
Ford's own CEO just said it out loud, on camera. Right now, there are 6,000 service bays sitting empty across America. Lifts raised, tools laid out, everything ready, and nobody standing there to turn a wrench. So, if your F-150 rolls into the shop next week, you're not waiting on parts. You're waiting on a person who doesn't exist yet. Jim Farley put the average repair wait at 2 weeks, and for a lot of owners, it stretches past 2 months, all while a $1,500 payment keeps clearing on a truck that's sitting dead in a parking lot. That number, 6,000, went everywhere. What almost nobody bothered to explain is the part that actually matters to you. Why those bays stay empty when the same CEO says these jobs pay up to $120 grand a year. The empty bay is the symptom. The reason underneath it is what keeps your Ford stranded, and it has almost nothing to do with lazy workers. Start with what Farley admitted right alongside that 6,000. Ford has roughly 5,000 open technician jobs it cannot fill. Nationwide, the industry is short about 400,000 trained mechanics. The Bureau of Labor Statistics projects nearly 68,000 openings every single year through 2033, and the trade is pulling in a fraction of that. This year, the gap got worse, not better. Far more mechanics retired or walked away than got hired to replace them. The hole is deepening. Now, the money, because the money is the whole story. Farley loves that $120,000 figure. Real talk on it? The Bureau of Labor Statistics puts the typical auto tech closer to $48,000 a year. The 120 is a ceiling a master tech might reach after years of training and tens of thousands of dollars in personal tools, not the floor anybody starts on. Early career techs at a lot of dealers are pulling $19 to $24 an hour while buried in trade school debt. What actually drives skilled hands out the door is buried in how dealers pay them. It's called flat rate. Ford decides a job should take a set amount of time and pays the mechanic only for that time, no matter how long it really takes. Sounds fair until you see it live. Take an oil pan gasket on a modern F-250 Super Duty. On paper, Ford might book it at well under an hour. In the real world, to reach that pan, you often have to lift the entire cab off the frame, unbolt the whole passenger compartment, hoist it up, do the repair, and bolt it all back down. That's most of a workday. The tech gets paid for maybe 40 minutes and works 8 hours. He loses money fixing your truck. Would you show up for that? That's the trap with warranty work specifically, and warranty work is exactly what a Ford dealer drowns in. Ford's recall record is staggering. In 2025, the company issued 134 separate recalls, and by tallies published in early 2026, that was more vehicles pulled back than the next 9 brands combined. Every one of those recalls lands in a service department as warranty labor, the lowest paying work on the board. So the best techs quietly avoid it and chase customer pay jobs where they actually earn. Your recalled truck sits in line behind that decision. And that 6,000 figure deserves a second look, because part of it is a corporate accounting trick. Ford and its dealers treat every idle lift as lost profit. So an empty bay can just mean they want more bodies crammed into the same space without the equipment to support them. A good tech needs 2 lifts to run efficiently, one for the job he's on and one for the job waiting. Counting empty bays makes the shortage sound cleaner than it really is. It compounds. Ford reworks its vehicles constantly, but the flat rate pay times don't keep pace with the redesigns. A repair that genuinely takes 4 hours still gets booked at 2 because the pay chart is stale. Multiply that across every job, every day, and a skilled tech is taking a quiet pay cut just to stay. One 35-year-old master tech who went viral over this said flat out he'd never choose the trade again. He'd have gone into heavy equipment or become an electrician. When your most experienced people are telling teenagers to run, the pipeline never refills. The techs keep pointing at the same culprit too, the engineering. Modern Fords are built to fly together fast on an assembly line, not to come apart cleanly in a service bay. Everything's optimized on a computer for build speed, so when one part fails, a tech tears through half the truck to reach it. Cab-off jobs for a basic gasket aren't an accident. They're what happens when nobody designing the vehicle ever has to repair one. If you've turned wrenches on these trucks, I want to hear it in the comments. Drop what a cab-off job actually pays you in flat rate versus the clock, because owners reading this need to understand what's really happening back there. Farley blamed a lack of respect for blue-collar work. He's half right. The disrespect is real, but a lot of it comes from inside the dealership. Service techs generate the lion's share of a store's gross, yet they're the ones on a concrete floor in the heat, while the sales side sits in air conditioning. Dealers keep well over 70% of what you pay for labor, and the mechanic absorbs the gap. If every tech in the country walked for 1 week, repairs would stop nationwide. That's how load-bearing these people are, and they know exactly how they're treated. Now, about that 2-week wait Ford quotes. The national average for a service appointment at a mainstream brand runs closer to 5 days per J.D. Power's own customer service data. Ford's CEO saying 2 weeks is nearly triple that. And plenty of owners will tell you the real number is worse. A complex warranty repair can pull a truck off the road for a month or more, loaner or not, while the note never pauses. This is landing at the worst possible moment, because Americans are holding vehicles longer than ever. The average car on U.S. roads is now almost 13 years old, and older vehicles need more repairs more often. Demand for service is climbing at the exact moment the people who do the service are vanishing. If this is making the picture click, send it to somebody shopping an F-150 right now. They deserve to know what happens after the finance office, not after the breakdown. The reason young people aren't backfilling those bays comes down to the same math. Trade school can run tens of thousands. A starter tool set is another small fortune out of pocket because the dealer doesn't buy it for you. Then you spend years at low, flat-rate pay chasing a ceiling most techs never touch. Someone stocking shelves with zero debt can out-earn a first-year mechanic and skip the wrecked back. The 120 grand headline collapses the second you run the real numbers. Meanwhile, the trucks keep climbing. Good luck finding much on a Ford lot under $30,000, and F-150s regularly sticker from $60,000 to over $100,000. To make the payment look survivable, dealers stretch financing to 84 months and creep toward 96. That's 8 years of payments on a truck that can be out of warranty and stuck in a repair line long before it's paid off. One more setup worth flagging. Ford recommends 10,000-mile oil change intervals on its small turbocharged engines. Those little turbos run hot and work the oil hard, especially towing. Stretch that interval, and if the engine fails early, the same company that wrote the schedule can turn around and blame your maintenance to deny the warranty. Put it all together, and it's a loop that feeds itself. Ford builds at volume. Quality issues stack up, recalls flood the service department. Flat rate pay turns that warranty work into a money loser. The best techs leave. The bays sit empty, and your truck waits. Farley can go on every podcast in America asking where the mechanics went. Until the pay model and the engineering change, those 6,000 bays stay empty, and your F-150, F-250, or Super Duty keeps sitting. So before you sign on a new Ford, understand you're not just buying the truck, you're buying into whether anyone will be there to fix it. If this helped you see the whole board, hit like, subscribe, and tell me down in the comments how long your Ford has been waiting on a repair right now. I read every one.